go to a restaurant on the weekends, it gets busy, so they start a waiting list. They start calling out names. They'll say, Dufresne, party of two. Table ready for Dufresne, party of two. If no one answers, they'll say the name again. Dufresne, party of two. But then when no one answers, they'll just go right on to the next name. Bush, party of three. Yeah, but what happened to the Dufresnes? No one seems to give a shit. Who could eat at a time like this? People are missing. You f***ers are selfish. The Dufresnes are in someone's trunk right now with duct tape over their mouth. And they're hungry. That's a double whammy. We need help. Bush, search party of three. You can eat once you find the Dufresnes. In Kilkenny, Ireland, they don't have anything American over there. It's very cool. But they did have a Subway sandwich shop. That was the one thing that had American. And that became the American embassy to me. I would go out to a bar, piss off an Irish dude, and have him chase me to the Subway. Said, dude, I'm sorry, but you're out of your jurisdiction. But you can have a cold cut combo, though. I was in downtown Boise, Idaho, and I saw a duck, and I knew the duck was lost, because ducks ain't supposed to be downtown. There's nothing for them there. So I went to a Subway sandwich shop. I said, let me have a bun. But she wouldn't sell me just the bun. She said I had to have something on it. She told me it's against regulations for Subway to sell just the bun. I guess the two halves ain't supposed to touch. So I said, all right, we'll put some lettuce on, which I did. They said, that'll be $1.75. I said, it's for a duck. They said, all right, well, then it's free. See, I did not know that. Ducks eat for free at Subway. Had I known that, I would have ordered a much larger sandwich. Let me have the steak fajita sub. But don't bother ringing it up. It's for a duck. There are 6 ducks out there, and they all want sun chips. I find that ducks' opinion of me is very much influenced over whether or not I have bread. A duck loves bread, but he does not have the capability to buy a loaf. That's the biggest joke on the duck ever. Like if I worked at a convenience store and a duck came in and grabbed a loaf of bread with his beak and walked out, I would let him go. I would say, come back tomorrow, bring your friends. When I think of a duck's friends, I think of more ducks, right? But he could have like a beaver in tow. Because if you're an animal, you want to have a beaver as a friend. Because they have some kick-ass houses. That is on the lake. Lakeside my ass, lake on. Acid was my favorite drug. We were on acid, we were going to the woods because we were in the woods trip and there's less likely a chance you run into an authority figure. But we ran into a bear. That was even more of a buzzkill. My friend Dwayne was standing there raising his right hand, swearing to help prevent forest fires. He got away from the bear and put his arm around my shoulder. He said, Mitchell, Smokey is way more intense in person. In England, Smokey the bear is not the forest fire prevention representative. They have Smacky the frog. It's just like a bear, but it's a frog. And I think that's a better system. I think we should adopt it, because bears can be mean, but frogs are always cool. Like never has there been a frog hopping toward me, and I thought, man, I better play dead. Here comes that frog. I've never said here comes that frog in a horrifying manner. It's always optimistic. Like, hey, here comes that frog. Fantastic. Maybe he will settle near me, and I can pet him and put him in a mayonnaise jar with a stick and a leaf to recreate what he's used to. And I'll certainly have to punch some holes in the lid because he's damn sure used to air. And then I can observe him, and he won't be doing much in his 16-ounce world.